Hey there, I'm Sierra Bailey with Doers, Shakers, Makers, and I'm back with another Tuesday tip. This week we're going to talk about authenticity, specifically 7 ways to be authentic with your social media. One of the reasons why people love to purchase products and services from talented tiny business owners is because there's a deep connection with the person that owns that business. They want to be supporting that person. They want to be supporting their family. They feel really good about that purchase, and they feel a connection between themselves and the person who owns the company who's providing those services. So one of the most important things that you can do as a talented tiny business owner in reaching new people and in connecting with people and building your business is to be authentic in your social media. Now let's talk about 7 ways that you can do that. I can't even read my own handwriting, so there you go on that. Oh, I gotcha. I just, without realizing it, did it perfectly. Keep the mess ups. Don't try to be perfect. They're not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody wants to see perfect. Really and truly, nobody wants to see perfect. And in fact, all of the YouTube people that have everybody watching their families and their lives, the ones that show those vulnerabilities and the mess ups and the imperfections are the ones that people really relate to and like them best. They want to see that you're human. They want to see that they too could be doing that. Or, oh, hey, I've been there. I get that. Look at them go. Nobody wants you to be perfect. Nobody wants you to sit on your pedestal and do things perfectly. So that's the first tip. The second, share stories with that. Really illustrating number 1 today. Share stories from your life and your business when you are making a point about something. Pepper in things about your own life. You're not just parroting something you've read or the books. I mean, you can include those things, but make sure that you're humanizing. You're showing in your own examples what is going on. Yes, you can talk about clients. I talk about clients. You can talk about customers, things like that as an example. But always talk about your own life. You don't have to be TMI, oversharing, anything like that. But using your own professional hurdles that you have gotten through, or illustrating how what you are talking about has helped you at one point or gotten you through something. Those are the really authentic things you want to be sharing that will help people understand the value in what you're providing for them. Be transparent. That's the third one. Be honest, be open. You don't have to talk about everything. If you don't want to talk about your kids, have them by name. You don't want to talk about, your dad who maybe has a grave illness and he doesn't want to talk about, you don't have to talk about everything, but be transparent about things. If you're going to own a business and you are, let's say, a graphic designer and you want to share I'll use an example of my own life. So for a long time, my jewelry business was Manic Trout. It was, when I first started it, very largely based on my relationship with my ex-husband, who was a fly fisherman. When we got divorced, there were a few years where I didn't want to talk about what it was named, why it was named, things like that. So people would be like, why is your company named that? And I'd be like, I like fish. I don't know. And it was weird. It was not transparent. I was not being authentic. That wasn't the real story. I got over myself finally and dealt with going through a divorce. And then I was able to laugh and say, well, I was once upon a time married to a fly fisherman, or I had a relationship with somebody, however I talked about it. But when I was more transparent with it, it related more to people. It was really awkward when I had on my website, it was just something with water and fish. And everybody was like, what? That makes no sense. So my being transparent about that at the moment couldn't happen, but I did get over myself, and I realized in that, look at me, see, sharing this story to illustrate the hurdle. I realized that the connection that I was making to people about maybe them being through a divorce or having to rename a company or being awkward about something was so much more important and so much more really working in my favor than trying to make up something else that was not real. I was not being transparent, and you could tell it was awkward. The fourth is to show up. So if you say you're going to deliver on something, be it your product or service, but also On social media, if you say, oh, I'll share that link later. Oh, I'm going to put a video up about that. Oh, I'm going to talk about that. Oh, my blog post comes out every Thursday. I mean, yes, you can miss things. But if you're going to say you're going to do something, show up. If you say that you have a Facebook group where you post a prompt every day and then you never post the prompt, people are going to be like, well, I don't believe you. You're lying to me. So that is a really, for those of us especially that love a good schedule, that's an easy way to start to build that trust, which is a large part of authenticity. So if you are showing up, if you are saying to people, it's why it's always recommended, if you say you're going to post your blog every single month, but you only post it once a month. I mean, if you say you're going to post every week and you only post once a month, you're better off just saying, I post once a month. Because if you are constantly saying you're going to show up and not showing up, that's the easiest way to not be authentic. So to show up builds authenticity. The fifth thing is have everything filled out in your profiles. This is very interesting. Okay, I'm failing because I didn't cite it properly, but I was just reading this like academic article thing about sports and social media online and how a lot of sports groups have fake fan pages. So one of the things that everybody looks at for fan pages is they look to see, is there a website, and is there like a why did this group get started filled out, and is there, all of the kind of stuff that you would fill out in your Facebook profile for your business page, let's say, or for your group, or in your Instagram account. So think about that. The more you are filling out and the more that you are giving that's real on all of these profiles, the more authentic you come across as. So take the extra 20 minutes and fill out all the things on your profiles. If you decide to do some rebranding, update it on everything, even the ones that you just created to kind of sit there and not use. It's very important and an easy step to take. The sixth thing is to address questions and engage. This goes in hand with the transparency. But when people are communicating with you, communicate back or they're going to think you're a robot. You want people to be part of the community that you're growing. If you are on social media, you need to be social. You need to be engaging with people. Facebook business pages, you can't comment on their posts or things like that, but you can certainly comment and reply when they comment on your post. If you have a group, you should be in there chatting all the time. And if you have an Instagram account or a Twitter feed or LinkedIn, you should be liking and commenting on other people's things. It's socialness. But at the very least, when people comment and like and engage with you on your profile, you need to make sure that you are answering questions, engaging, and being part of the conversation. If it's some icky, spammy, gross thing, delete it and move on. Don't engage in somebody who's trying to attack you. You can leave that if it's a member of your community who's attacking. Often, if it's a group or something like that, you will start to develop people who will step in for you. So if somebody's trolling you, sometimes your people will step in and help you, but you do not have to engage with a troll. I'm talking about when people are, asking how did you get your start? Or, when is your next podcast coming out or things like that. Make sure you are engaging and answering with those. And the last thing is to have an official email. This big sigh on this. The thing that I see talented tiny business owners do the most on their websites or with their businesses, there are two things. One, you can't find their email address on their websites a lot of the time. It drives me crazy. Often, if I am trying to connect to people and I can't find their email, I get frustrated and I don't even bother to connect. All of my press, I've worked with publicists and had large PR firms working with me, but all of my press that I'm the most proud of were people that sought me out. And you know how they did that? They found my email on my website and sent me an email. Not a contact form. They copied the email and they sent me an email. So number one, do that. Number two, do not make your business email mybusiness@gmail.com. I will let you in on a little tip. Richard Avery, who is a member of the Doers, Shakers, Makers group, a good friend of mine, he constantly is reminding us security-wise, pay for Google, pay for Outlook, pay the $10 a month for those emails. One, if you don't and your account gets shut down, you have no customer service if you use the free account. So that's number one. And if it's linked to your Facebook account and then Facebook can't verify something because that email's been shut down, you lose Facebook. So right there, please pay the $10 a month to either of those services. If you are paying for Gmail, you can go buy a domain name from GoDaddy or something like that. It is usually $12 for the first year. If you buy it for a few years, it's even cheaper. And then if you own that domain name, you can, through Gmail, simply have, like I do, Sierra@MsSierraBailey.com. Very affordable. If you're a talented tiny business owner, I'd say that is a necessary, not recommended expense. Domain name, professional, official looking email, and put that professional looking email on your social media, because it's when it starts to get like my business at Gmail that people are like, is that a real business? I don't know. I don't trust that. So that is a 2-in-1 tip on that one. Do those things. Official email. All right. 7 ways to be authentic in your social media. Did you learn anything today? Let me know. If you like this video, subscribe, follow, like, do the thing you need to do. I very much appreciate it. I'm back every Tuesday with a Tuesday tip right there in the title. My name is Sierra Bailey with Doers, Shakers, Makers, and I will be back next Tuesday.